Hiya folks, this is a new little video that we're going to be doing. It's a Suzuki Grand Vitara, and we've had problems with the intercooler leaking on the seams. I'll show you when I bring the intercooler up to the view a bit later on. I'll show you where we found the leaks and some issues that we had. We tried resealing it, but yeah, it didn't seem to do the job. So we did a bit of a modification on the intercooler, and we're going to run through the process of taking the temporary piping that we put in and showing you how we reinstall the updated version. So let's get on with the job. Okay, so just to show you, this is the modified version. Unfortunately, we didn't take any video clips of the older intercooler before we had this modification done. So just to explain to you what we were having issues with, we had consistent leaks along the seam of the intercooler, and the design from factory is basically an aluminium core with obviously the aluminium ends, and they've got the crimp seal along the top with an O-ring that seals between the two end caps on the intercooler. So what we did try previously was we did check to see if the O-ring had perished or if it was leaking through the O-ring. So we took the end caps off on the intercooler, checked the intercooler from the seal surface, that was all clear and clean, checked the O-rings on the ends, and they seemed to be fine. So we just assumed that that the crimping had come loose over a period of time, over the years of use and the amount of pressure that's in there. So we then reinstalled it and used the vehicle for a while, but we found that the leak was on the edge of the core, and I'll show you a bit more detail in a second, give you a slightly closer view of the issue where we found by the core. Okay, so the area where we had the leak, it wasn't in fact coming from the seal along the end cap, between the end cap and the core. What we eventually found after a period of time was we found that the core, one of the channels on the core had actually had broken. So with a lot of use over the years, and the pressure and the flex and the heating and cold, it did tend to crack on the tube, and it was right down in the bottom of the core, so you couldn't really see it, but after a period of time you could see the oil sort of slightly seeping out of here. We had no pressure drops in terms of the turbo pressure level, so it was a very, very small little leak, but nevertheless we needed to replace the radiator cores, at least the intercooler core. So what we decided then to do was to actually remodify it completely, put a much heavier duty intercooler in. As you can see, the tubes are a lot wider, a lot thicker, the vanes and fins are a lot more robust as well, so they will stand up to a lot more vibration and flex, so we should never see this problem again. And of course we got rid of the crimp seal that they had, and what I'll do is I'll put a shot up on the screen just so you can see what it used to look like before. We replaced the entire center core with a much bigger heavy duty core. The tubes are slightly bigger inside as well, so the airflow will be a lot better, and the cooling will certainly be a lot better because of the surface area as well. So this is not just an upgrade in terms of preventing the leak from reappearing, but it's also an upgrade in terms of efficiency of the intercooler. So yeah, as you can see, we welded them here, so it's now a completely sealed unit, and we should never ever see this issue again. So let's get on to the disassembly of the old temporary fix, and then get on to how we reassemble this back into the vehicle. so here we have the intercooler, and what we had to do is the new intercooler didn't come with the holes for this this rubber, the air intake rubber that comes from the bonnet scoop. So we just drilled the holes. I did that off camera so as not to bore you with drilling holes. Yeah, put these retaining clips in, and the rubber is now mounted. And then also we attached and replaced the bolts and screws and washers for retaining the outside of the rubber. So there we go, it's ready for installation. Everything's looking good. Nice neat job. So let's go ahead and start installing it into the vehicle. Right, so let's stick this new intercooler in and get it all buttoned up. Right, it's important just to make sure that your rubbers have seated properly and sealed, otherwise you will get some leakage along here. You'll lose a little bit of air pressure and probably leak a little bit of oil out that you do tend to get in the turbo system. Right, let's put the bolts in. Something just to be aware of when you are working in close proximity to the battery, is always be careful you don't end up shorting out the tool on the positive post on the battery. Otherwise you could have a few flashing sparks. Done. Make this one a bit more. go. Nice and secure. Clamps are tight. Position. Right, there we go. Make sure all the vacuum pipes are back on that you've taken off. That's all good. And now we'll give it a start and see how it runs. There we go, guys, that's it. Everything's looking good. Nice quick little short video for you, just to give you an indication of or an idea of how to go about modifying your intercooler on your Suzuki Grand Vitara. This is a 2004, and yeah, if you're having leaks, consistent leaks on your intercooler, my advice would be to have it replaced and make it a completely fixed unit and get rid of the old crimp clamp types. So thanks very much for joining, and if you like this video, hit the like button. If you haven't already, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, and yeah, you can drop us an email as well. You'll find the email in the description below. Thanks very much for joining, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Cheers.